Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here. So if you've been here before and if you're watching this or watching the replay, welcome. I hope you're doing well. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you're doing well. My name is Nicholas and on my channel, Spiritual Wisdom, I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, crystals and magical properties, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. Today I'm going to talk about being your true self. Now this ties in with self-love, being your true and authentic self. Now a lot of us, we may put masks on, we may pretend to be individuals we're not. We may agree with things but we really, in our heart and soul, we don't agree with, but we might agree with certain people because of the friend group we're in. We might settle for, because of fear or loneliness, we might think that toxic friends are, we might settle for less than we deserve. We might settle. When we're not confident, we don't love ourselves, we might settle for toxic friends because we think someone is better than no one, or some people are better than no people, and that's not true. If they're toxic or negative, you're better not having them in your life at all. But again, those toxic and negative people teach you how to be strong, how to be resilient, how to respect yourself. So those types of people, you will miss them because of the memories you shared with them, those friends, or you'll miss what you thought they were, or the memories you had with them. But self-love is a long life journey, and a big part of it is stepping more into who you truly are, and who it's honoring your beliefs, your values, having boundaries is part of self-love. And boundaries show people what type of behavior you're gonna accept, what type of behavior is okay for you, what type of behavior is not okay. So boundaries are also a way of you protecting your energy and showing people um, how they should treat you. Because if you've not got boundaries, then essentially you become a doormat, and it's like you're an open door and anyone can use you or abuse you. And sometimes we feel we have to be small or fake who we are because we've got all these negative thoughts, maybe from childhood trauma, but we need to work through, and that's how shadow work, journaling helps us there. But today I've got some tips, and these which help you be your true authentic self. And self-love, there are many ways to love yourself, and it's a long life journey. But part one is getting to know yourself. So there are many ways to do this, but journaling is a great place to start, because in your journal, you could call it a self-love journal or your healing journal. You don't have to give it a name if you don't want to. But in your journal, you could write down what your strengths are. We've all got strengths. We've all got things we're good at. Kindness is a strength. You may be very kind, empathetic. You may be very empathic. So write down what your strengths are, and celebrate those parts of you. When it comes to your flaws and weaknesses, they're also part of you, and sometimes our flaws and weaknesses can be hidden strengths. But a good thing to do is write down what your flaws and weaknesses are, and then at the bottom of it, write some type of affirmation or mantra. In my journal, I've wrote, I love myself, flaws and all, because there's people in your life, they've got flaws and weaknesses, but you still love them. Or they may drive you up the walls at times, but you still love them. So self-love is being that way with yourself. And it's really about getting to know yourself. And a good way to do that is writing down your strengths, your flaws and weaknesses, writing down what you like as an individual, what interests you, what you love, what bores you to tears, and what doesn't interest you. Write that in your journal, because a big part of self-love is really getting to know yourself. And once you have a sense of who you are as an individual, who you truly are, the second step is love and accept who you are. And that takes time, but it's learn to, love how, because sometimes people can see our full potential, or they can see how wonderful and amazing they are. And then once they see that, there's one or two ways people treat you. There's going to be people in life which see your full potential and they want to lift you up and support you. But on the other hand, there's going to be people who see your full potential. Hello. They see your full potential, but they want to bring you down. That is another thing that can happen. They want to bring you down. And sometimes that's why they're not nice. It's horrible to be betrayed. It's horrible to be stabbed in the back. And I understand that because I've experienced it myself. However, toxic and negative people sometimes because we've all had them at one stage or other, can be a blessing in disguise, because sometimes you don't realize how amazing, wonderful, how much of a diamond you really are. But these toxic and negative people do, and they see that you've got the potential to grow and change and to become the best version of you, but they don't want that. They want to keep you where you are and keep you small so they can use and take advantage of you. So again, when you start to rise or you become more confident, you're going to attract two types of people. There'll be people that support you, that love what you're growing and see the goodness in you and want to lift you up. And then there'll be people where, because you remind them, you're like a mirror. When you grow, you're reminding these toxic and negative people, but as you're growing and evolving, they're remaining stuck. That's what tends to happen. So learning to love and accept yourself is part of it, because once you get a sense of who you are, then it's loving who you are, truly loving and in being yourself, right? Step 3, what helps you be more authentic, is speaking your truth and living your truth. So again, as I've said on my YouTube channel, Spiritual Wisdom, there's 3 forms of truth. There's factual truth, like if you look outside and it's cold or it's raining, or there's a scientific fact. There's personal truth. And when it comes to spirituality, for many of us who are spiritual, we believe in things that necessarily can't be proven by science. And we understand that there's forces in this world what you can't see with your physical eyes. You can see them with your third eye, you can see them. Sometimes some people can't see the spiritual forces around them, but they can feel them. They can feel spirits or other energies with them. Some people are very clairsentient. In my case, I'm very clairvoyant. I see auras, I see images in my mind. And when I do like meditation with spirit or crystals or plants, spirit tells me things through imagery. And for many of us who are clairvoyant, that's how we experience things, by seeing them. But again, speaking your truth, meaning some may be true for you. Like, for example, someone could say the key to living a great life is to meditate every day. Now, that's their truth. That makes sense for them. That's their truth. And I agree with that because I meditate every day. So that'd be my truth. But at the end of the day, that's that individual's truth. It's not for everyone. It's the same with spirituality. As I always say, there's no right or wrong spirituality. There's just the path that's right for you. And it's just like for some individuals who follow Christianity or walk a Christian path, for them, there's one true God. They believe in the Holy Trinity. Nothing wrong with that as long as that individual, does their own thing and they don't try and force it down other people's throats. That's all well and good. But when you learn to be true to yourself, it's not just speaking your truth, which is a beautiful thing, because you can share your beliefs, your values with people, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful to share your beliefs, but it's not necessarily nice when people force them on others. That's not so nice, and I'm going to be talking about that more on the channel as well. But speaking your truth is great, and then living your truth, and then let go of validation, okay, which is a hard one, but that is part of it. Part of being true to yourself is like letting go of validation. A lot of us can be afraid to be our true self, like to dress the way we want to, or to really do what we want to do with our life, or to, exercise, or to do things that we know in our heart and soul are going to bring us joy and happiness, but other people may find it weird or they might not agree with what we're doing. So validation, as I've always said, is a chain. It keeps you stuck, it keeps you trapped, and you don't need validation. The only validation you really need is your own validation. Validate yourself, and also validation for your spirit guides, because your spirit guides are always with you and they know what's best for you. But also, a great way to escape validation, to break it, is to go, right, see what I'm about to do. That could be swimming, that could be going to the gym, that could even be spending money on an expensive gym membership, okay? But if you've got the money to do it, or some people may think you're crazy, you're mad for doing that, because you could do other things with that money. But really what they're saying is, if you've got people like that saying that to you, they're going, oh, well, to me, that's reading between the lines. They're jealous of the money you've got, and they wouldn't be doing what you're doing with it. They'd be doing something else. So read in between the lines there. But again, when you've got that type of money, and if you go, right, I want to spend that money on the gym, or I want to spend it on an expensive gym membership, for you, that brings you happiness and joy. It feels right in your heart and soul. And if it feels right in your heart and soul, That breaks the chain of validation. It breaks it. Okay. And number 5, another chain that's got a similar energy but not the same, is approval. Because if you're living for approval, then you're not being true to yourself. You're also going to be weak in the sense where other people hold you in their hand, meaning they hold you because you're living for society's rules or other people's rules, and you feel this deep need for approval. And if you live for validation, approval, you'll never be true to yourself. You'll always be stuck and trapped in life. So again, how do we let go of approval? Very much the same way, by learning to go, right, see this, for example, if you're going to decorate your bedroom, now, have you ever decorated your bedroom and have you asked friends and family for approval? Let me know. Or if you just went, I want to do my room a certain way, and you done it that way. So that's one example of breaking through approval. But some people, they're so traumatized, they have this deep need for approval where every aspect of their life is governed by friends and family, which is a very toxic way to live. And if you live that way, you'll always be trapped and stuck in life. So you break free of approval by, again, doing what feels right in your heart and soul, by listening to your intuition and let it guide you as well. And more often, sometimes in life, I don't believe in hurting people, but I will say sometimes in life you don't mean to hurt anyone, but because you believe something or you're a certain religion or because of your sexuality, people take offense. So you're not meaning to hurt anyone or cause harm, but sometimes your way of being upsets people. Like, for example, me being gay, part of the LGBT community, me being gay myself, some people are going to go, oh, that's sinful or that's wrong or you chose that or it's a choice and all this BS that comes with it. Now, you can't choose your sexuality because who would choose that? And that's a rant for another live stream, I think. Who would choose to be, because if you are different, if you're not straight, meaning, because society favors the majority, most people are straight. So some people, of course, me being gay, I've got straight friends, but are very nice people. But I've also met some people on the other side of the spectrum as well. But it's like when part of your sexuality, and there's many sexualities out there beyond gay and straight, but like when you know who you are as an individual, when you know who you are, okay, when you know who you are and you embrace who you are, you break free of approval. So that's the letting go of approval, letting go of validation. Okay. Number 6. Okay. Emotional. So doing what's good for you emotionally as well, doing what's good for your well-being, what's good for your overall being as well, also helps you be more yourself. Learn to go, right, is doing certain exercise or doing these practices, is it good for my mental health, my emotional, my physical? So being true to yourself and also being true to your emotions is also how to be more authentic. So it's a long life journey, being your true and authentic self. It's part of self-love, and really self-love in its entirety is being yourself, being who you truly are, and then learning to love and accept who you truly are. And it takes time. And a great thing that helps with affirmation, a great thing that helps when you want to become more authentic or love yourself more, is affirmations. And even writing down like negative thoughts you've got about yourself and then changing them into something more positive. For example, it could be, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. But who said that? Why do you feel not good enough? Why do you not feel worthy? And worthy of what? And sometimes in life we feel we need certain people or we need other individuals to be worthy, but actually we're already worthy, because if you think about it, even from a scientific perspective, everything's made out of atoms, and then we're like made out of stardust. So everything in the universe, we're made out of it. And then for a spiritual perspective, we're made out of everything. We are the moon, we are the stars, and then there's other worlds beyond this world. So there's already a version of you that is successful or wealthy, or you can tap into that version of you want to be when you do spell work, ritual work as well. But lighting like a candle, this is something I do. It's one of my practices, but works for me. Like I light a candle and then I've got affirmations that I've wrote out. So I'll say these affirmations every day. I'll light the candle. I'll say affirmations around the candle. And then snuff the candle out once I've said all the affirmations. And if you do that like for 21 days, you start to change your mindset, and you start to see yourself more in a positive light, be more of your true and authentic self. And that's what self-love does. And it's a long life journey, but it helps you be more true and more authentic. And again, being your true self, being authentic, it's not easy, but nothing worthwhile in life is easy. It requires hard work, and journaling's part of it. Journaling is part of self-love. Like, you can include that in, and there's a lot of amazing journal exercises. But again, big part of self-love is really changing your mindset about things, and then filling up your emotional cup. Okay? Yeah. Filling up your emotional cup. Doing things and in my YouTube channel, I've spoke about the four energies in the body. Now, the four energies in the body are the mental body, the emotional body, the physical, and the energetic body. Now, these bodies are all interconnected. So it's also about looking after yourself, taking care, and doing things that are good for mental, emotional, and physical well-being. As always, I hope this video bring the tips I've given today, or talking about this topic, is giving you some help, some guidance, and encourages you to walk the path of self-love, and to be more your authentic self, be your true self as well. Because when you be your real self, when you be true to yourself and you be you're standing in your power and your sovereignty. And some people, again, are afraid to be their true self, but because when you change, the people that really do care about you and really love you, they'll be drawn to you. And in life, not everyone's going to like you. And some people are afraid to change because they go, I'll lose these people if I change. But if you start to be your true self, and then you're starting to grow and evolve and become the best version of you, and friends and people leave your life, then they're jealous of your glow up. That they were never truly your friends, because a real friend would be with you for the good times, the bad times. And a strong, wise person, or a strong and loyal friend, would want to lift you up, not bring you down as well. And they'd want you to be more of yourself. So as always, I hope this video gives you some guidance, some comfort, and I'm grateful to all of you tuning in as well. And if you get any questions on the channel, please comment on those questions and I'll respond to them as well. So until next time, may meet, may part, may meet again. Have a beautiful and blessed day.